So obviously, this week's parasha, Parashat Korach. Now, the story of Korach is a story that has a lot of musar. That even Rashi says, on this, he quotes the Tanchuman, he says that it was nidrash, that it was expounded nicely. Meaning to say there's so much beautiful things to say on this parasha. There's so much you can learn and take away from this parasha. I want to focus in on a few different details. Hashem will bear together, we'll get through it. And Hashem, we'll get to the end, we'll take away some beautiful lessons that we can learn from this parasha. First things first, we have to understand, who was Korach? Who was Korach? What was his relationship with Moshe Rabbeinu? What was his claim? What kind of person was he? How did he fall? Well, first things first, we have to see the family tree of the Levi'im. The Levi'im, as we spoke about in previous Shurim, they had three families. And that was Bnei Kehat, Gershon, and Merari. Three families. And the greatest of those families, Chazal teach us, was Bnei Kehat. Why was it Bnei Kehat? Because they were the ones who carried the Aaron. And from which family was Korach? From Bnei Kehat. Kehat had 4 children. The children's name were Amram, which was the firstborn, Yitzchar, which was the secondborn, Chevron, and Uziel. 4 sons. The first son, Amram, he had 2 boys, 3 children. He had Miriam, Aaron, and Moshe. Aaron was the high priest. Moshe was the leader of Am Yisrael. Second came Yitzchar. Yitzchar, his firstborn was Korach, and he had another 2 children. Then came Chevron. Then came Uziel. And Uziel had 1 son, firstborn, his name was Mishael. After Mishael was Elitzaphan. When it came to pick the Nasi, the prince of the family of Bnei Kehat, who did Moshe Rabbeinu pick? Elitzaphan. Which is basically, from the 4th brother, the second brother. Korach's reasoning, Chazal teach us, was, wait a minute, we'll see in a minute how many different claims he had. But what his reasoning was, is first he told himself, wait a minute, if this is going in order of lineage, of age, then who should come next? Okay, first things first, who was the firstborn? Amram. Who was his firstborn son? Meaning after Miriam was Aaron. Aaron got the high priesthood. Then comes Moshe, he got the leader. So who's next in the lineage? Issachar, and his firstborn is me, Korach. And therefore he says, according to my cheshbon, and according to the way that I'm seeing things, what makes the most sense? That I'm going to be the leader. That I'm going to be the one after. That I'm going to be the one who's going to get at least this. And the Orchestration tells us that he also reasoned, Aaron's children, what did they get? Keuna. They got the priesthood. Only today you have any Kohen you'll ever meet, is from the family of Aaron. Comes now Korach and he says, what's Aaron's son? Elazar. Take the numerical value of Elazar, you get 308. Take the numerical value of Korach, you also get 308. So comes Korach and says, wait a minute, Aaron's son gets Keuna, and what do I get? Nothing. Well, Korach got nothing? Korach got nothing? What did the family of Bnei Kehat do with Aaron? They were the ones who carried the Aaron. Korach himself was one of the people who carried the Aaron. He's one of the people who carried the holy ark of Hashem. Understand what I'm telling you? Alvai sheniske. Alvai that will get even the merit to even see the Aaron. And he's one of the people who's carrying the Aaron. And what did I get in life? I didn't get nothing. And the Midrash tells us even further. Tosafot Arosh and Tiferet Zion Midrash Bamidbar Rabbah. He tells us his father's name, Yisachar, means oil. Yitzchar means oil. He says, so too oil. What do you see with oil? Right now I put oil, I mix it in water. Where's it going to go? It's going to float on top. So what does he say? Hello. If I'm from the family of the sons, the Gemara says, every parent, when he names his child, Hashem gives him a little bit of Ruach HaKodesh. When the mother comes to name the child, the family, the mother, has a little bit of divinely intervention from Hashemayim to give the name for the child. I told you guys the famous story of my daughter, what happened. When my daughter was born, my firstborn daughter was born, my wife that night, she was born, she fell asleep right after my daughter was born, she had a dream. And in the dream, she saw the name Chana spelled out. And she woke up in the morning and she called my daughter Leah. Why? You have a pasuk in the Nevi'im says, Chalomot shav yidaberu, which basically means that dreams, sometimes they don't talk truth. However, my wife was mitchaber, I called her name Leah, so I gave her the name. I have 3 children, Baruch Hashem. All 3 of them I gave my wife. I told her, whatever you want. All 3 of them I want a different name. She wanted a name. I told her, you can have it. It's okay. איך אומר שטיינמן? נע ראיתי גם זקנתי ולא ראיתי. מוותר מפסיד. I never saw a person who's מוותר lose. And Baruch Hashem. But what you see, Hashem gives a person a little bit of a ruach hakodesh, a little bit of divine intervention to name the child. Comes Korach and says, if that's the case, then how come Kehat, meaning my Saba, Kehat, why did he name Yisrael? Oil. Because the same way oil floats on top, so to us, we're going to float on top. We're going to be the biggest out of all the families. And therefore me, the firstborn, I should be at the tip of the top. And what else is oil? Whenever a person is anointed to Kuna or to royalty in Judaism, what do they do with him? They pour oil on him. So he says, Shem and Amishchai, they pull the oil to come and put on top of him. He says, therefore I'm destined for royalty. I'm destined for royalty, yes or no? Destined for royalty. Says the Midrash even further. It says that Korach had superior qualities above everybody else. What does it say? First things first, lineage. We see he's from Bnei Kehat. His first cousin was Moshe Rabbeinu. First cousin was Moshe and Aaron. Second of all, he would carry that on. He was very intelligent and a very learned person. And even further says the Midrash that he saw through a Ruach HaKodesh. He saw through divinely intervention. What Ruach HaKodesh is? Ruach HaKodesh is being able to see into the future. He saw through Ruach HaKodesh that in the future he would have a grandson whose name would be Shmuel HaNavi, one of the greatest prophets to ever live. And on top of that, he'd have 14 groups of Leviim that every single one of them prophesied. Every single one of them were Nevi'im. Says Korach says, wait a minute, this is my children. This is my lineage. This is my children's children. Then for sure I'm destined for greatness. And with all of this, he decided, you know what, I'm coming out against Hashem. I'm coming against Moshe Rabbeinu. Now what happens? Now we should know, Tiferet Zion explains, that if Korach wasn't a person of refined character, you would think that a person who has Ruach HaKodesh, a person who's able to see things that are beyond the realm of what a regular person can see, he would be a refined person. He'd have a refined character. However, we see Korach wasn't a refined character. So how did he get Ruach HaKodesh? Says that Tiferet Zion, you know why he got Ruach HaKodesh? Because of the environment that he was in. Because he was surrounded with Moshe and Aaron and the Bnei Kehat and the families of the Leviim, because of his environment, he was Zochel Gdula. He said the greatness. Some people ask me and say, Rabbi, I want to be able to grow and become better in life. I want to reach the next levels. I want to become a better Jew. I want to start keeping Shabbat. I want to start keeping kosher. I told them, all these things you can do. But if your friends are not like that, then how do you expect to be Matzliach? How do you expect to be successful? You want to reach great heights? You have to hang out with people also on the same place, in the same level. I know personally, Baruch Hashem Zachiti, Ma'ani Machayai. What am I? I'm nothing. However, I know one people that were, Baruch Hashem, they made themselves close to me. And they said, oh, Rabbi, wherever you're going to go, I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to drive you to the Shurim. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be with you everywhere you're going to go. Within 1 year, that person's whole life trajectory changed. A person went from being a nobody with no job, no nothing, ended up having a job. Within 1 year, he was married, learning Torah, this and that. All because he made sure, Rabbi, I want to be around the good Siva. I want to have good influence in my life. I want to be around people who influence me the right way. So Tiferet Zion says he was zochet to the highest levels. You know what Ruach HaKodesh is? You know what Ruach HaKodesh is? Imagine you went to go play the lottery. You know the winning numbers? Huh? Ruach HaKodesh. You understand what Ruach HaKodesh? Obviously it's a joke, but Ruach HaKodesh means that you're able to see things that are beyond what normal person could see. You're on a higher level, you're an exalted level. Comes Nakor and he's seeing into the future. Many generations later, his great-great-grandson is going to be Shmuel HaNavi. And he's going to have 14 different groups of Leviim who are going to have Nevi'ut, and they're going to be prophesying. All because of what? His Siva, his surroundings. And one big Musa we have to learn from Korach. Comes to Tiferet Zion and says, you know why? Learn how important it is, the company you keep, because it will define who you are as a person. Sometimes a person says to himself, I want to be able to grow. And you will see, without a doubt, if you look and you check, what will you see? What were you going to see? You'll be able to see with your own eyes that they pull you down. How many people we know that when they started to grow in Judaism and get to higher heights and everything like that, all of a sudden people say, why don't you hang out with that guy anymore? There's no connection between us anymore. He's two different people. I know someone personally, he went on a spiritual journey, started becoming more religious. And he didn't see his friends for a year and a half. And one day after harassing him and calling him and harassing him, hey buddy, what's going on? When are we going to see you? We miss you. Finally, he agreed, I'm going to go out with them. He went out with them. He told me after, he told me, Rabbi, he's like, I don't even know how I would hang out with them. I'm sitting over there the whole time, I'm talking a bunch of nonsense. 3 hours, he's telling you heard about this one, you heard about this one, you heard about the whole night Lashon Hara. The whole night Lashon Hara Isurim. Empty conversations, talking about nothing. Oh, you heard he bought a Rolex, you heard he got this, you heard he got this, you heard. Like talking about each other all night, 4 hours sitting down on a cup of tea over there by Emmons Avenue. It was me, Malkos Tay, not there, my Muslim Shama. I don't know what they're doing over there. 4 hours talking about everybody else. Habibi, if that's you, get up and walk away. You see over there, as soon as they tell you where we're going tonight, Emmons Avenue, tagid them, I'm not coming, sorry. Loba. Why? Because for sure there's going to be 4 hours of conversations over there. I'm Stutti Vavali. Comes back to one night, says, I don't even know how I hung out with them. After 20 minutes, I said, I want to go home. That means that when you in your life, if you take a step back, work on yourself, make yourself a refined character, make yourself a better person, you will come back and see, wait a minute, this is where I was sitting before? This is where I was before, Baklan? I would enjoy this? I would enjoy this? Man, it's a joke. This is what I would enjoy? Impossible. And guess what? Chazal teach us that when a person refines himself, that's the first step into refining others. The only way that you will ever merit to change anyone in the world is by first fixing you. A broken kli cannot help a first person become a whole kli. A broken vessel cannot make another person become a full vessel. You have to work on yourself. You have to make yourself shalem. You have to make yourself complete. And when you do that, then you can help other people. And therefore we learn a big musar here. Be careful the people you hang out with. Be careful the company you keep. Make sure your friends always bring you up. Make sure your friends always take you to better places. Whether it be in spirituality, whether it be in business, I don't care what it may be. But make sure you're always with people who take you to the right places. How many people we saw that fell? How did you fall over here? How did you get to this place? I don't know. He told me. At first I said no. At first I said no. A guy started working at a certain company. And next thing you know, 6 months later, FBI investigations. I forgot that. How'd you get over here? No, at the first 3 months I said, no way, I'm not doing it. And then I saw the first paycheck, $100,000. $100,000 paycheck coming through, a check. Shoop, $100,000. Rabbi, you know how enticing it is to see a check of $100,000? Guy tells you, this could be yours. You see this? All you got to do is just one little line. No big deal. One little line. Yeah? Line of credit. What do you have to do? The carrot. That's one little line. That's it. Start with that. Next thing you know, you're wiping the guy's bank account clean. Next thing you know, loan after loan after loan. Okay? People told me things that people do. I know they People told me things they do. I don't know how they're sleeping at night. There's certain people that they do certain things without mentioning any names, without mentioning any maasim, that I'm not sure how that person goes to sleep at night. Gonev me'anashim, steal people in front of their eyes. והולך לישון בלילה. איך? The Gemara says, גזל מגטרג מראש. That's theft. Already before you even get to Rosh Hashanah, even that $1 you took is sitting over there screaming at Shamayim, don't give him a good year. Imagine how much more if it's $1 million, $100,000, $50,000. ואיך הם נפלו? How did they fall? Because they hung out with the wrong person who took them to the wrong places and gave them a little peer pressure to do the wrong things, and the next thing you know, boom. They fell. A person has to be very, very careful. We spoke about it in previous classes. The Mishnah says, Al ta'amin ba'atzmecha al yom motecha. Don't believe in yourself until the day you die. It's not a joke. No one in the world can believe I'm above it all. Me, I'm good. You can never get me to fall. I'm honest like an arrow. No one will ever get me to fall. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. Whatever it is. Don't ever believe in yourself, because when you believe in yourself and you put false belief in yourself, you put yourself in situations that are very risky and almost guaranteed you will fall. Chazal teach, it's brought down Shulchan Aruch, Kol haporetz godel, yishachenu nachash. Anyone who breaks the gate, anyone who goes over the gate, the snake will bite him. What's the gate? What's the snake? Who was the first, the person who told Eve to eat from the Etz Hadat, from the tree of knowledge? A nachash. What's a nachash? Snake. Who was the snake? The Yetzer Hara. The Yetzirah is הנחש. מה זה גדר? התורה says that the רבנים עשו סייג לתורה. Make a safeguard for the Torah. A person who goes over what the rabbis tell him, guaranteed he's going to get bitten by a snake. A person who puts himself on a test he shouldn't be in, guaranteed he's going to fall. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. No way you're going to pass. The truck is going to come in front of you, you're going to fall. So be very, very careful. And if you didn't put yourself over there, you're going to pass. But if you caused yourself to be there when you shouldn't have been there, man, who told you to go? Who told you this is where you should be? Who told you this is the place for you? You decided to go, and guess what? You put yourself on a test, guaranteed you're going to fall. You have no protection. You have no protection here. ואם אתה מסופק, and if you don't know what to do, comes the Mishnah בפרקי אבות, and it says, תעשה לך רב, תסתלק מן הספק. Make for yourself a rabbi and run away from doubt. Rabbi, I have these two companies I want to work for. Rabbi, I have a situation right now. Should I go to this place or that place? Okay, what's going on over there? Well, over there, I heard there's a few people that are doing not so kosher things. Stay away. Stay away. How about the other place? No, over there, I heard everything is 100% kosher. Okay, go. And he goes to the place that's kosher. Even if, God forbid, over there, they're going to put a test in front of him, he's going to pass. You know why? Because he has a shmirah on him. He has a special safeguard on him. You know what that is? The blessing of the rabbi. The blessing of the rabbi will put a safeguard over him, he won't fall. But if he does it on his own, what's saving you? What's safeguarding you? What's keeping you safe? What's keeping you safe? Korach believed in himself. What happened to him? What was his end? He got swallowed up into the earth. Chazal teaches that every Rosh Chodesh, every so on and so forth. Maybe today it's no longer. But there's a certain place in the world you would hear. You go down Korach ve'edato. You see Korach. You hear Korach in all of his assembly. Moshe emet ve'torato emet, singing. Torah is emet. Moshe is emet. It's truth, and his Torah is truth. This Moshe that you were cholek on him, now all of a sudden it's truth. Sharbel adul mizeh. I have to go into the topic of Korach very deep to understand what's going on over here. Because he was not a simple man. What did we just see? The Midrash, Bamidbar Rabba, tell us he was one of the... First of all, he was one of the smartest people to ever live. And on top of that, we should know, the Midrash shows us that the Levi'im, majority of them were poor. Lived in poverty. How do we know? Because when the Jews left Egypt, Moshe commanded them to go to the houses of the Egyptians and take all of their possessions, all the gold and the silver. Why? As a repayment for all the work they did for them for the 210 years. Who wasn't working for all of those years? The Levi'im. So the Levi'im didn't have what to take, except for one person. Who was that? Korach. Korach was so money hungry, says the Midrash. It wasn't me, I didn't say this, the Midrash says this. That he was the treasurer for Paro. And when Hashem told him we're leaving, Korach didn't want to leave. He said, Habibi, I'm hoping that when Paro passes away, I'm going to take over the bank account. You know, it's mine. It says, Tosfot Masechet Shabbat, בדרך שרצה בן אדם רוצה ללכת בה, מוליכים אותו. The way a person wants to go, בדרך שהאדם רוצה ללך בה, הם מוליכים אותו. The way he wants to go, they take him. So therefore, what did Hashem do? He gave Korach to find half of the treasure, a portion of the treasure of Yosef, and he became very wealthy. Says the Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin, he was one of the wealthiest people to ever live. Until today, when you want to call somebody rich in Eretz Yisrael, what do you call him? Ashir keKorach. Until today, you want to call a person rich, you tell him Ashir keKorach. You're rich like Korach. In Hebrew, that's what they say. No? Am I wrong? Yeah, Ashir keKorach until today. One of the wealthiest people to ever live. And he's complaining. You're holding the Aron. You're the one who's carrying the Aron. You have all the... You're intelligent. You're smart. And you have all... You're one of the wealthiest people to ever live. And you're complaining. How? לפעמים when a person... It's one of the tricks of the Yetzirah. The Yetzirah only lets you focus in on what you don't have. And it makes you always forget what you do. What's the one thing I don't have? I don't have kavod. I don't have honor. Of course. I don't have greatness. Look at me. There's no difference between me and Korah, Moshe. There's no difference between me and Aaron. There's no difference between me and Elazar. No difference between me and Letzafan. All of them are my equals. And I'm the only one who doesn't get a position. Excuse me? Kodem kol, this lashon, the way of talking, of all of them are my equals. Who are you? You want to know why you didn't get Gdula? Because the way you think. What do you mean? I'm equal. Who are you? You know how Moshe Rabbeinu got to the highest places? The Masechet Eruvin says, anyone who humbles himself, Hashem exalts him. Hashem brings him up, he raises him up. Anyone who brings himself up, Hashem humbles him. Hashem brings him down. The God continues, says, anyone who runs after greatness, the greatness runs away from him. Anyone who runs away from greatness, the greatness runs after him. The Gaon Mevilna says, not only greatness, everything in the world. Everything in the world that you want, if you run after it, it will run away from you, like the Mavid, like the plague. But, if you say, wait, no, I'm not running after anything. Everything in its right time. When Hashem wants to give it to me, it'll come. Guess what? That's the end of the Gemara. Anyone who makes the Sha'ad Chukah, anyone who presses the matter, tries to force things to come in the wrong time, Hashem makes him the Sha'ad Chuk, meaning it doesn't come true. He won't be successful. But a person is patient and he waits. Hashem ma'amid lo tasha. Hashem stands from the time, meaning Hashem will give him success. If you understand that it's not according to my schedule and my time and what I want, then guess what? Then you succeed. You know what the Arizal tells us? The Arizal says that if Korach wouldn't have went against Moshe Rabbeinu, you know how there's a Kohen Gadol? There's a high priest. Yeah, you guys heard of Kohen Gadol? The one who did the Avodah in the Beit HaMikdash. The one who was the highest level of Ke'unah you could possibly reach. Says the Arizal that Korach there would have been a new position created in the world called Levi Gadol. Levi Gadol. The high Levite. He would have created a new position just for him. But because he didn't want to wait, what ended up being his hand? He was swallowed up in the ground. And not only he was swallowed up, since he used his money for evil, for wrong things, because he made a lavish banquet, how did he get followers? First of all, he went to his cousins, then he went to the firstborns, he went all around, as the Midrash relates. And he decided, what am I going to do? You want to get people to come in, what do? You bring food, lavish banquet. You bring them food, ochel, mahalim tovim, you bring them a good singer. In the Shalem Shirim, okay? They come over there and he sings, and this singer's going to be there, and it's going to be a lavish banquet, and it's going to be this speaker, and that speaker, and this one, and that one, and bows, and everything he wants. So comes Korach, he's very rich. He makes a lavish banquet. He invites everybody. And over there he presented a very convincing parable. I'm not going to go through because it's very detailed and a little bit long. A very convincing parable, basically proving, quote unquote, that Moshe and Aaron made everything for themselves. That's what the Yerushalmi says. The Yerushalmi in Sanhedrin tells us that Korach reasoned that all the positions that Moshe chose and picked and gave out were not from Hashem. That Moshe Rabbeinu himself chose them, and he went so far to even say that all the mitzvot were created by Moshe. You can't even make this up. That all the mitzvot were from Moshe Rabbeinu. And how many followers does he gain? 250 people come after him. Not simple things. Not regular people. High people of stature, 250 of them. And where did they go? What was the end? Swallowed up by the ground. The ground opened, swallowed them. Said the Midrash that one of the things that was created, Ben Hashem Ashot of Shabbat, meaning before the world was even created, was what? This hole in the ground that swallowed them up. One of the things that was created. We're going to get into that a little bit deeper. This is why I made the whole shiur towards the end, but we're going to see it's something beautiful. But we see what happened to them. They don't have emunah, they don't have bitachon. And that's why the Mishnah Pirkei Avot says, Kina ve'atava ve'akavod motziim ta'adam me'olam. What's that? Kina, jealousy, ve'atava, and desires, and kavod, and honor. Take a person out of this world. Says the Rambam, Pirush Rambam al Mishnah. He says, you know why? Because chasing after these three things, he will ultimately lose his emunah in the Torah, he will lose his faith in God. And if he loses his faith in God, he will never get any ma'alot sichlit, any ma'alot midot. He's never going to get anything that's going to bring him up. Not in his mind, not in his character, nothing. Because he's going to be constantly chasing after these three things. And what do you mean, Musim Otom Olam? A person who chases after honor, it takes him out of the world. How many people we see chasing him? Don't take him out of the world. You see a guy who wants honor, he dies right away? What do you mean take him out of the world? It means take him out of his world. What does it mean take him out? It takes him out of his mind. It makes him a person who's majnun. He sees things differently. He looks at life like a nice way, like a metutam, like an idiot. I tell you guys a story that one time happened. It's a real story. I wish it was fake, but it's not. You guys heard me say the story before. A guy who, I think he lived over here in New York or one other country. He decided this guy had a very big factory. And he was such a big gavtan, such a big haughty person, that you know those people who have factories and they have their window of their office facing all of the workers. All day he's at the window looking at his workers. And when he's not by the window, where is he? In between the rows, looking at them, how they're working. All day. 3,000 employees, the guy's on them like glue. Hello. One day, the guy comes down. He's standing over there looking down at his employees in his factory, and he's feeling good about himself. And all of a sudden, he sees a guy over there in shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops, walking around the phone. Yeah, talking on the phone. The guy gets crazy, loses his mind, turns hot like a tomato, red, kulo adom, everything's rage, runs downstairs, runs up to the guy, and tells him, how dare you? Disgusting, repulsive, this is how you in my workplace, this is how you come to work, this is how you're talking on the phone, you don't know my rules over here in this office? Excuse me, you're fired. And the guy's like, don't talk. I don't want to hear you say nothing. You're fired, and guess what? I don't want to see your face again, I never want to see you, I want to make an example out of you for everybody. I'm writing you right now your severance check, your unemployment check, take it right now and get out of my face. Don't say nothing, take the check and go. He takes the check, $10,000, and walks out. He asked the other guy over there, tell me, this guy's like this every single day? How did I miss him? He goes, I'll tell you the truth, I have no idea. It's the pizza delivery guy. He doesn't even realize that it's a pizza delivery guy. Why? Because he's kavod. Ken, kavod. I told you one guy, the guy came for the stapler. Sometimes let's go into this of anger. One time a guy came for the stapler. He says to the stapler, I have a problem with anger. So the stapler says, okay, no problem, come to my office. It's a very funny story. Stapler is one of the biggest rabbis. His son, Avraham Kinevsky, alav shalom. The stapler was one of the biggest rabbis of the previous generation. Good? Imagine now you're sitting in front of one of the biggest rabbis. You're sitting down in the room, just you and the rabbi. And he's looking at you, and you're looking at him. He's sitting down, and he just starts looking at the guy. No words, just making faces. 5 minutes, just making faces at the guy. The guy sitting over there, Rabbi, maybe I should leave. No, sit down. Kaha. After 5 minutes, the guy was sitting over there feeling so embarrassed, ashamed of himself. He's like, what am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck here. After 5 minutes, Stapler tells him, I just want you to know, this is what you look like to other people when you get angry. Maybe he went into his mind a little bit, put it in his head. Korach ended up falling. You're going from carrying the Aron, carrying the holy ark of Hashem, one of the highest places in the world, to falling down so hard. Why? Because he was blinded by kavod. The Torah tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he came down with the Luchot, forget about the fact that there was 10 plagues in Egypt. Forget about the fact that the Sea of Reed split. Forget about the fact that man came down from Shammai every single day. That Moshe Rabbeinu by himself, meaning who is Korach fighting with? Moshe Rabbeinu, kivechol, right? Even though Mishnah Pirkei Avot says, Kol machloket l'shem shamayim, sofa litkayem, kegon, bet Hillel bet Shammai. Every argument that's for the sake of God, its end is to continue. Like Bet Hillel and Bet Shammai, who always argued for the sake of the truth. And Kol machloket l'shem shamayim, every doubt that's not, argument that's not for the sake of God, sofa lo litkayem. Its end will not finish. Like Korach ve'edato. Like Korach and his assembly. It doesn't say Korach and Moshe. Moshe wasn't even involved. I wanted to do with this. I'm not even arguing with you guys. Who was arguing? Korach and 250 people. They were arguing with each other. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to do with it. Who's Korach think he's fighting with? Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay, I just wanted to tell you guys, it said in Torah, Pshat. Don't tell me Midrash, or tell me Gemara. The Torah says that Moshe Rabbeinu came down with the Luchot the second time, and his face glowed and radiated so much so that he had to wear a mask. He had so much awe. So what's light of Torah? Sometimes you see a person who learns Torah, you see his light radiating. You don't see an actual light, but you see the light radiating from him. You see the purity, the Ta'ara. Moshe Rabbeinu was so pure on such a high level that his body literally radiated. He couldn't look at his face. He had to wear a mask. And when was this? According to the Pshat, Korach is arguing with Moshe Rabbeinu as he's wearing a mask covering the rays on his face. The guy over here is sitting, his face is glowing like the sun, and you're telling them you're phony baloney? The guy has to wear a mask. Habibi, the guy has to wear a mask because you can't even look at him. The whole nation was afraid of him, told him put out the mask. You're talking to him as he's wearing a mask, his razor flowing from his face, and you have the audacity to tell him that whatever. I don't understand. Help me understand what's going on here. And Korach is a smart person. Anyone over here would have the audacity, the guy is coming to you, glowing kulo. No one in the whole entire world ever glowed like Moshe Rabbeinu. The only person in the world to have glow come from his face. And argue with the guy. Everything you did, we did on your own. I don't know. It's almost funny to say it. Why? Because it's the kavod. When honor, it takes you out of your mind. You don't even see things properly. You don't even see things the right way. You miss all the signs. Hashem places things in front of us 24/7. Korach had every single sign, every single thing to tell him you're wrong. And he chose to ignore it. He chose to ignore it, to put a visor on. Today, we see everything that's going on in Israel. All the wars, all the nisim, all the miracles are happening outright in front of our own eyes. All the miracles. And people choose not to see it. Someone told me today, and it hurts me to say it. Someone Mod Chashuv, told me that they took a poll in Eretz Yisrael. Chilonim, non-religious people took a poll in Eretz Yisrael, and they said that 72% of people in Eretz Yisrael don't keep Shabbat. 72% of people of the poll they took don't keep Shabbat. You see missiles hitting hospitals, nobody's there. Schools, nobody's there. Hundreds of missiles a day. America, president, and the sea, bunker bombers, all the things you can possibly see with your own eyes. Even Bibi came up on stage and said, thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, quoting Psukim in Rashi, and you, mamash oblivious. It's right in front of your face. It's mamash like Korach. You see everything clear as day in front of your eyes, but you choose to ignore it. That's why a person in life cannot miss what's right in front of him. Hashem wakes you up every single morning. He gives you everything in your life. Every essence of you is a nes, is a miracle every single second. And you don't see it, you're like Korach. Blind to the truth. Blind to the truth. Of course, nobody here, of course, can. But blind to the truth, some people. They choose not to see it. Because it doesn't work with their agenda. It doesn't work with their desires. It doesn't work with what they want. So what? What's true is true. You cannot run away from truth. What's true is true. No matter how much you want to lie to yourself and tell you, no, it's clear, it's proof, it's right in front of your eyes. You can see it with your own eyes. And it's not the first time in history. Avraham Avinu went out to war. According to the Midrash, he went out to war with one other person. He went against a war with 4 kings who defeated 5 kings, and he beat them with sand and turned into daggers. The whole story of the Jewish nation, the Maccabim, Chanukah, all of it is a story of the underdog always beating the... How? If Hashem wasn't with us, Purim, if Hashem wasn't with us, we'd be out of here, wiped out from existence. And we see that every time Hashem was with us, we're matzliach. And every time not, Chas Shalom, that's when the problems start. And therefore, we have to always be able to see the simanim. And Mamash, I'm going to finish with this, I promise. The Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin says that a person has to feel... 10 more minutes. Okay, we'll see. No promises. Okay, maybe. Okay. The Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin says a person has to feel like the whole entire world was created for him. What does it mean the whole entire world was created for him? You have to feel, or for her? You have to feel like the whole entire world was created for you. I'll tell you a story this week that happened to me personally. And from here, maybe we can understand what it means. This week, I had to go to Deal. I had to drive to Deal, New Jersey. So anyone knows to drive at Deal, New Jersey, you drive to Deal, New Jersey. An hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. Doesn't matter what time you drive. And the Bible that's sleeping. No matter what. Well, as soon as you hit the New Jersey Turnpike, it's over. Okay? I get to Deal, New Jersey. I get out of the car. I see that on my front left tire, there's a bulge over there. Balloon like a baseball. I said, okay, first of all, Baruch Hashem, it's a miracle that I even got to Deal, New Jersey with this bulge over here. But I cannot continue to drive. Now, Deal, New Jersey is not like Brooklyn, New York. You go over to G's Tires, Peace Tires, every tire store on the corner. Over there, they don't have tire stores. Over there, the tire stores is like Mavis. Hello there. So I started looking for a tire shop because I can't drive back to Brooklyn with this thing. I found a tire shop, which happened to be 2 minutes away from where I was going. I called the woman and she said, what kind of tire you have? I told her I have a Bridgestone Potenza, run flat. She tells me, oh no, that I may have a special order. We don't keep anything in stock. I called 5 different places. Nobody has a tire in stock. I called the place, right, that was 2 minutes, 3 minutes away from the place I wanted to be. She goes to me, wait a minute, let me check. She checks. She goes, no. I have only one Bridgestone Potenza in stock right now. No, I have it. I found it over here under a pile over here. Come right now. I went to change the tire. Right after that, I went to give a shoe in the office in Deal, New Jersey. I told the boys, you think it's coincidence? Hashem put that tire over there from the creation of the world for me to come and get it in Deal, New Jersey. You understand what I'm telling you? Hashem put that tire there. So the day is going to come when Maor Ben Del is going to go to Deal, New Jersey and need a tire, and the tire is going to be there. And that's what the Gemara says in Masechet Sanhedrin. A person needs to feel like the whole world was created for him, that Hashem, everything he does is for you. Every step along the way, every little detail, everything he does is for you. There's no coincidence. B'mikre. There's no mikre. There's no coincidence. Everything that happens in your life, Hashem is the one who plans it, who decides it. And you know why Korach was upset? You know why he was upset? Because his faith wasn't what he wanted. He didn't have faith in Hashem to understand that if I would wait, it's going to come at the right time. He saw a bunch of random events and he thought, if a person will understand that the way Hashem works is Hashem is the greatest artist in the whole entire world. A person, I went over to an artist one time and said, I want you to, a very expensive artist. The guy tells him, I charge $50,000 for a painting. I said, okay, I heard good things about you. Go, I'm going to watch the process. You don't mind if I stay and watch the process? I said to him, no problem. The guy starts painting. The guy's looking over there. He says, the whole thing looks, what is this? I'm paying 50 grand. I'm embarrassed to say that I'm even paying for this thing. The thing looks lopsided, upside down, no clear image. And the dude, even I told him, the whole time he's sitting over there, he's going crazy. He's getting angry as he's sitting over there. After 5 hours watching the guy's like, okay, all done. Like, all done. What all done? What is this? I'm not paying $50,000 for this. The guy tells him, relax. Takes the thing, turns it upside down. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, it's very beautiful. That's how Hashem guides your life sometimes. You see the picture, you say, oh, what's going on over here? Hashem says, okay. You turn the thing around. So, oh, wow, what a beautiful picture. What a beautiful image. The greatest artist in the whole entire world is the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And our avodah, and our job in this world is to understand that Hashem guides every single moment and every single aspect of your life and every single thing that happens to you. Hashem put you there for a reason. Maybe today you won't see it. But when the day and Hashem decides to flip the picture, you'll see it. There was a woman, this is the last story, I promise. Really, this is the last story. Her name was Emma. She went to school to become a doctor. And she worked very hard. She had amazing grades. And she was the top of her class, honors society, everything you can possibly imagine. And she figured that when she would graduate, they would swallow her up. She'd have the easiest time finding a job. She graduates and she sees, not only she doesn't have an easy time finding a job, nobody wants her. And no matter where she goes, rejection. And she says, wow, what's going on over here? Now, after a few weeks, month and a half, 2 months of trying, she's like, what can I do? I need to go pay off my student loans. I have to go get a job. So she looks for a job. The only job she's able to find is a low-paid job in a community center in a low-income neighborhood. That's the only job she could find over there. And her job over there is to teach kids, to guide the children, and to motivate them. And the whole time she's thinking to herself, how did I fall over here? How did I fall over here? How did Hashem put me over here? What did I get over here for? All of this, I worked hard. This is where Hashem took me. What is this? Every day I'm making peanuts. I'm working with low income. I should be a top doctor. I should be a surgeon already. I should be one of the top of my class. I see other people who are even less than me. They're in the highest positions. What am I doing over here? And one day she comes to work. She sees an old beaten up book bag sitting on the floor. And she picks up the book bag. She opens up the book bag. And the book bag happened to be the book bag of one of the girls she worked with. Her name was Laila. She opened it up. She found her diary. And in the diary it said, I'm having a really hard time in life. But today I met Emma. It's the name of this doctor. And she told me that I could be whatever I want to be. And she told me that I could be great. And I hope one day I'll be able to be a doctor like her. She writes. The woman starts crying. And she starts realizing, now I understand why God put me here. I had to come here for her. The woman decides she's going to dedicate her life to helping these people. She ends up a few years later opening up her own healthcare center in the community, helping underprivileged people. And on the day that she opened up the company, Layla was there, that girl, her first year in med school. And she told her, it's all because of you. It's all because of you that I'm here today. And Emma told her, no, it's all because of you that I'm here today. A person has to understand that Hashem puts you in situations in your life all for you to get where you need to be. Today you may not see it. Today you may not see it. But when the time comes when Hashem says, you know what, now I'm going to flip the picture. Now I'm going to turn it upside down. Then you'll see why it's all so beautiful. Why Hashem is the most beautiful painter in the world. That every single thing that Hashem did, every step, every stroke of the paintbrush, every beautiful step along the way, as upside down as it seemed, was all one beautiful piece to make a grand picture that is the person that you need to become. And our avodah is to become patient and to know and to wait. And I say, Hashem, I know you're guiding my life. I know you're the one driving the car. I'm sitting back. I'm letting you guide me, and I'm okay. I'm okay. That's our avodah, it's to know that Hashem is the one driving the car, and we're okay. I told the story before, I'll tell it one more time. There was a few people who went on a flight from New York City to Eretz Israel. On the flight, in the middle of the flight, the fasten seatbelt sign comes on. And the stewardess comes on and says, please everybody, we're experiencing a little bit of turbulence, everybody take their seats. And everybody take their seats, fasten your seatbelt, they fasten the seatbelt, and all of a sudden, the whole plane starts shaking crazy. And everybody over there is scared for their life. When you're in a plane like that, so many feet up in the air, and it's going like this, and it's shaking, and you don't know what's going to be. And you see the stewardess in her eyes, she's also worried. All of a sudden, one guy looks over in the plane, and he sees a 12-year-old little boy sitting on the plane, headphones on, just and happy. The guy standing next to him, Shu Majnoon, what's going on with this kid? He's crazy in the head. Let's take him to psychiatrist. What's going on over here? He walks up the courage, he pokes the kid in the shoulder. He tells the kid, how are you not afraid? You don't feel that the flight is going upside down turbulence. He goes, no, I feel it. So how are you not afraid? Oh, my dad's the pilot. If you knew that Hashem was the pilot of your life, yeah, sometimes it's going to be turbulence. But if your Abba is the one driving the car, your father's the one driving the car, you have nothing to worry about. Hashem is driving the car of your life. Hashem is the pilot of your life. Hashem is the one who's taking you where you need to go. You know what your avodah is? To sit down like a 12-year-old boy. There's going to be times of turbulence. There's going to be time when the ride is smooth. But you have to always know that Hashem is taking you to the best place. And even through the, you have to be like the 12-year-old boy. Tamim, simple, tamim. And smile and say, Hashem is the one driving the car. And I'm okay because He's the one who's taking me. That's our avodah. That's our avodah. Our job is to understand Hashem is the pilot of your life. Nothing is random. Kol ha'olam. The whole entire world was created for you. Hashem created it for you. Everything He does is for you. That's how we have to take it. That's how we have to understand. And if we do that, and we ingrain this into ourselves, then we'll be zocher to bring Mashiach tzidkenu b'mah b'yameinu chen ratzon v'nomar amen. Chazak u'baruch.